Well, the future of digital gaming just continues to get worse and worse, and Sony is at the center of all of the stories we are talking about right now. Yesterday, I made a video talking about this bug that was reportedly wiping people's digital games off of the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and the PS Vita. Right here, PS5 owners lose access to hundreds of games as digital purchases wiped from their account. This PlayStation bug will lock you out of your digital games. And the more you start to think about it, the more you start to look into all of this. Is it really a bug? Or are they just testing things out for what they might be able to do in the future if you are someone that gives them some hate speech online, if you say a gamer word, if you vote for the wrong person, maybe suddenly your games start disappearing all of a sudden. Pretty interesting there. Well, this story with Stellar Blade happened a few days ago, and again, it's another situation with Sony. And Sony actually had to show a little too much of how far they're willing to go with the Stellar Blade demo. So the Stellar Blade demo accidentally released. And it says right here, Sony had to break protocol. A Stellar Blade demo has been removed from the PS5 store after it was mistakenly released to the public. However, the way Sony has handled it is very strange. Oh, I agree. While we are buzzing to get our hands on those Stellar Blade trophies, it seems that an unfortunate mishap has caused Sony to remove a Stellar Blade demo from the PS5 store after it mistakenly launched early. And it says, spotted on X by the ever-reliable Wario64. I agree, Wario64 is a great follow. For a brief 20 or so minutes, you were able to download the Stellar Blade demo from the PlayStation Store. However, this turned out to be a huge oopsie on Sony's part, as the demo was quickly pulled from the PlayStation Store less than 30 minutes into its surprise release. Sony has yet to comment on the situation, but due to the whole shenanigan, it's clear it was a mistake on someone's behalf. However, an even more interesting situation, after the demo was pulled from the PS Store, if you did manage to download it, you still will no longer be able to play it if you have since connected your PS5 to the internet. Sony has updated the demo license to automatically block players from being able to access the demo, although you may still be able to access it if you disconnect from the internet. That right there, that is a big, big problem. It's not clear as to why Sony has taken such a drastic step. The demo is clearly going to be released in the coming weeks. Is it so bad that a few players have access to the demo early? On top of that, the game is getting pretty positive comments from those who have managed to play it. So it's not like there is any polishing that needs to be done to the demo to make it more appealing to players. Even with all the drama that surrounded PT, Sony didn't make it unplayable for those who had already downloaded it. It simply removed the game from the PlayStation Store. That's why you are still able to find people selling their PS4s for ridiculous amounts of money on eBay because they still have it installed on them. It's not like we would see a similar situation with Stellar Blade demo. Stellar Blade is scheduled to release in full on Friday, April 26th. So nobody's going to be buying someone's PS5 just for the demo of the game. It is a very interesting step that they took. That was a drastic step that they took. Here's Wario64. Sony has now locked users out of the Stellar Blade demo, even if you already downloaded it. So that means they went into the license, and that is a next step. Can you justify it? I don't think so. I think some people probably go, well, they don't want people streaming it. They don't want people doing this. Well, then there's ways you can go about that to stop that from happening. But this right here just shows you that the digital future we are heading down, they have way too much power. They have way too much influence, and you don't really own anything. You will own nothing, and you will be happy. That is the digital future right now, and it is not a good thing at all. Man, I mean, this story between the story with the PlayStation bug and now this with the Stellar Blade demo, this is a back-to-back really, really bad optics for Sony and really bad for this digital future that we're heading towards. And as you know, the Sony PlayStation, or the next PlayStation and next Xbox, are rumored to not have a disk drive. And if that's the case, I'm just telling you, I think there's long-term that's going to be long-term bad for the games industry moving forward. If we move into this all digital world, I do not think that that's going to be a great long-term future, but I think the short term, I think that's where we're heading, unfortunately. But hopefully more stories like this will happen and we can highlight it, and that's what we need. That's why it's important to have independent media covering these things, because IGN's not going to talk about this. Kotaku's not going to talk about this. Polygon's not going to talk about this. And even if they did talk about it by chance, they're not going to put much emphasis on it, and they're going to spin it in a direction that doesn't make it seem as bad. Well, it is bad, and it needs to be highlighted, and that's what we're going to continue to do here at Geeks and Gamers. So you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.